What's up, everybody? Welcome to Narco Cop MMA. This pod here I'm doing for Bellator 285 and also the Cage Warriors card, Cage Warriors 143. I'm pretty familiar with Cage Warriors, mostly the ones that are overseas. This card is actually in California. I still am familiar with a lot of these fighters that are on this card. So I do have some bets. I do want to talk about some of these fights. And just want to give you some insight. Maybe you guys are leaning one way or the other. So not sure about that, but maybe I can give you some tips here on who I think has an advantage and where they have an advantage. I'll also go over the odds. That way we can just look at the live odds right now and see if there's any value currently. What's up to Mushroom, Mike Z? Thank you for everybody that's in here right now. And with that being said, we got a lot of fights to go through. I'm going to go through them pretty quick. Unless people have questions, ask away, and then we can talk about it. First fight of the night, Dante Schiro versus Luca Poclit here, and I will show you this real quick. I'll add it to the stream. There it is. Dante Schiro, 9-3, actually on a nice win streak here. I think he's won. Oh, actually one only. But this split decision loss to Logan Storley actually looked really good. He looked good. He was actually coming on late. Storley kind of tired there. In the next fight, again, he looked good against Scotty Howe, who's a striker. Pretty much grinded him out, man, at the end of the fight. Like, Howe was very tired and eventually finished him. On the other side, Poclit, I actually like what I see from this guy. Very aggressive. Seems like he has a good jiu-jitsu game. Very, very strong. Gets people on the ground. As you can see, he has a bunch of submissions. This guy's a new guy to Bellator. He hasn't really fought many good fighters, as you can see these records here. Like this guy 7-1 kind of isn't really a 7-1 fighter. His only loss, Taisimov, a good fighter here. Maribek Taisimov, who was in the UFC, is a really good fighter, and he knocked him out there. But this guy Luca is actually pretty good, man. I like what I see from him. He's in a tough matchup here against Schiro. So I don't personally have a bet here at all. But I'm going to go ahead and show you the odds here for this fight. And it is actually quite interesting. I think money is coming in on Luca. So let's see here real quick. Let me share this tab here. And we'll look at the odds. Okay, here we are. Here, Schiro Polite, and down to 170 on Bet Online here. You could see he was at 200. Lines coming in. You could still get Polite minus 160 on FanDuel. I don't like, if I was to take a side here, I'm definitely taking Poclit, or whatever his name is, Poclit. I would definitely take that side. I'm not gonna lay the juice with Schiro, but for me at this point, it's honestly a pass. I'm not messing around with this fight. But I think it's closer than this line indicates, because I think Poclit will be able to land takedowns. I'm just not sure of his gas tank here, because Schiro can definitely outlast him. He has very good cardio, and he can definitely outlast him in the later rounds. Moving on, it's the second fight here, and it is Asael Adjoudj versus Jordan Barton. And Asael, basically, this guy's a kickboxer, pretty athletic kid, still very young, 23 years old, lengthy, long, good kicking game, has pretty good takedown defense, actually, for a kickboxer. So I do like what I see from this kid, but still very, very green in the MMA game, honestly. He's got some amateur fights, but as you could see, like, it's only been fighting since 2018. So it's only been 4 years. You could see he's kind of not very versed in the grappling game yet, but guy's improving, has good striking, has faced a very, very low level of opposition. The only guy that beat him is this Constantine guy, and the way he beat him is basically taking him down, man. He took him down in that fight and basically won it that way. On the other hand, Jordan Barton, I really like this kid, man. I've talked about him before. Very crisp striking, very good wrestling, good jiu-jitsu. Guy's pretty good, man. Like, this win against Manny Akpen is not bad in amateurs. Got a loss to Bobby Pallett, who's a decent fighter. But then in the pros, he really hasn't fought anybody early. But this Camilleri guy, it seems pretty decent. He's 6-1. I mean, the guy's faced pretty good guys. This Yusuf guy is a Cage Warriors guy, and I know him. He's a pretty good fighter, and he's got a win over him. So, talking about this guy, has a loss to James Hendon, has a loss to Ciaran Clarke in a very, very competitive fight here against Ciaran Clarke. But this is the impressive win here. But against Fatkari Diadi, split decision win. I thought he won convincingly 29-28, but they gave it a split decision. But Diadi's a very, very good fighter, very quick in and out, very good striking, good scrambler. And the thing here is I think Jordan Barton can be competitive on the feet. He works very good to the body. He's got very good grappling, and that's the big thing here, man. He's got very good grappling. I think he can dominate this Asael guy on the ground, honestly. He even was doing really well against Ciaran Clarke, who's a very good grappler himself. So looking at these odds here right now, I have a bet already on Jordan Barton at -150. I got 3 units on Jordan Barton -150. And as you can see, you could still get -150 here on DraftKings. For some reason, DraftKings still has him 150. Everywhere else, -180, 75, 65, 52 on FanDuel. So honestly, I like the -150 here. I'm all for it, man. I think Jordan Barton is just a better MMA fighter, man. He's got the whole package, while Asael only really has a stand-up game for now. The other thing I like that I hit, and that might be, it's kind of down. It was plus 700 on the Barton submission. Again, he's a much better grappler, man. The guy is a really good grappler. And I think he can get this guy down. I think he can get his back. And then he's in trouble if he gets his back, because Barton, again, the other guy is just not versed in BJJ that much. So he's a kickboxer. He's only been training MMA for a while, and I just think Barton should be a much bigger favorite than -150. I think they're undercutting this guy, and if I was to give this fight some odds, I would make it Jordan Barton -250, honestly. I really think he should be that big of a favorite. So thank you, Will Kick Ignacio, B. Annan, Daniel Wells. Let's go, my brother. You're on your way to Dublin. Nice, man. Enjoy it. If you're going to the fights, enjoy it. Barton decision. Yeah, I mean, Barton decision is possible too. Don't get me wrong. I just took a stab on a sub because it's plus 700 it was. So that's why I took a stab on it, because he's the better grappler, and I think he gets this fight to the ground, and you're giving me plus 700. I'm going to take it. Moving on, we will go to fight number 3. I want to go through these pretty quick, though. Alex Bodnar, Kenny Mokhona. Kenny, good grappler, has good takedown skills. You could see his, most of his fights are ending in sub. He's subbing people. So Kenny knows how to grapple. Like, he's at SBG Ireland. I know those guys are not really known for grappling, but this was a submission here. This is a submission. So all 3 of his pro wins by sub. And then when you look at his amateurs, he's got a bunch of different subs. Kimura, triangle, Darce, rear naked. When you see stuff like that, the guy is, if he's getting submissions in multiple different methods, then he's probably well-versed on the ground. On the other side, Alex Bodnar, he's new to the Bellator. In his only loss against Caleb Mullen, who's a pretty good fighter. It was a back-and-forth fight, honestly. He got on top. He got reversed. He's got pretty good takedowns. The problem is he makes a lot of mistakes on the ground. And as you can see, he got choked out in the amateurs by a 1-3 guy, triangle. He got choked out by another guy. So his 2 losses in the amateurs are both by submission. And look at this. His loss in the pros is by submission. You know what that tells me? That most likely Mokhona subs this guy. let me look at the current submission prop on Mokhona. He's blown out to minus 330. I would not lay that line for sure. However, let me see here real quick. Yeah, his sub prop is not very appealing either. It's plus, they're on it, man. He's plus 135 by submission. They pretty much have a feeling that Mokhona is going to sub this guy. And I kind of have the same feeling. I think he subs this guy. He's got very good submissions. He's slick. He's long. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing else to be said here. I wouldn't place a bet anywhere. The lines are just too good. Fight number 4, Georgi Karakhanyan versus Kane Mousah. Current odds. Let's see here. Kane Mousah, where are you? Okay, Kane, plus 165, best available price. And the best available price on Georgi is minus, it just kicked up to minus 190. It was minus 175 on DraftKings, but it's up to 190 now. So the best, some money coming in on Georgi here, on DraftKings, we should say, because he was 175. But yeah, I mean, I think this is a kind of a closest fight. You know, I kind of favor Georgi, but Georgi, honestly, is not the kind of guy you want to lay like a negative number next to. He's the kind of guy that you want to take plus money on. He'll fight for your money. He'll be there. He's tough. He's durable. He throws with power. He can grapple. But he doesn't throw a lot of volume. You know, those are the things that I don't like seeing from him. And the fact that this guy just kind of fights close, man. You know, based on his opposition, he's fighting pretty close. You see split decisions. He's going to decision a good amount of times. He's faced a much, much better opposition, right? He's faced a killer opposition. The issue is, like, even look, Bryce Logan, he went to split there. Miles Jury, he went to split there. Probably better fighters than Mousah, but Mousah himself kind of fights close, and that's the problem here. He lost to Davy Gallen, but in a competitive fight. Then he won a split. Then he lost the split. You could see with these guys. Then he lost the split. Then he won a split. So these guys both fight close. So if you asked me what I was going to play based on what I see on tape and how I see these guys fighting, I'd probably take plus 165, to be honest. I don't like taking Georgi at a big minus number, dude. The guy just usually doesn't cover this number. So for me, I'd probably go with the plus money on Kane Mousah, but I don't really have a bet here. So I can't say I bet it. But if you're looking at a side and you want some action, I think the plus money is probably the side on Kane Mousah. Moving on, fight number 5, Dara Kelly versus Kai Stevens. And basically, you know, this one, I mean, Dara Kelly, minus 500, minus 475. Best available, minus 460 on FanDuel. Yeah, I mean, he's going to run through this guy, man, honestly. After, Dara Kelly, extremely aggressive. This dude is very, very aggressive. Comes out swinging, immediately shoots for takedowns. Very good on the ground. You could see guillotine choke finish. He literally finished every single one of his amateur fights, and he's finished his only pro fight. Kai Stevens, 3-1, fought a pretty low-level opposition, if you ask me. Has a loss to Lucas. I think he was like beat up, cut up, and then they stopped the fight against a 1-1 fighter. Got knocked out by Oben Elliott, who we know is in Cage Warriors. Good striker, tough guy. But this is one-way action here. And Dara Kelly can finish this any way he wants. He can finish it on the feet. He can finish it on the ground. What I do like here is I like the under 1.5. It was plus 125, and I couldn't believe it was plus 1. And it still is plus 125. I like that look, man. Dara Kelly's going to just, if you want to play it a little safer, and like you have Betway and you could get this minus 150, that's a great line too. Under 2.5, or I'm sorry, fight doesn't go. Just play fight doesn't go. Minus 175. I don't understand who bet this down, but you could see the discrepancy here. Minus 300 to minus 175. Take this. Take this minus 150. Minus 175. Fight doesn't go. Under 2.5 minus 150. Under 1.5 plus 125. I'd hit every single one of those, honestly, because this is a one-way street here, man. And Dara Kelly's gonna kill this dude. He's a really good fighter, good striker, and very, very good wrestling and grappling. So yeah, all Dara Kelly all day there. Moving on, fight number 6, it's Karl Albrektsson versus Karl Moore. I think Karl Moore took some time off. Let's see here. Let's look at his, 3 years. Exactly 3 years this dude has been off. Hopefully he's working on his game. This split decision win over Chadwick is not very impressive. Got knocked out against Mario Sorelli. Got choked out by Paul Craig there. I watched that fight. He was actually doing pretty good against Paul Craig. Even got Paul Craig down, but then he started playing the jiu-jitsu game with Paul Craig, and we know what happens when you try to do that. The issue here is it's Karl Albrektsson. He's another jiu-jitsu guy. He's really good on the ground, has good ground and pound. Guy is good everywhere, faced a very good level of opposition, has honestly only lost to top-level guys. When you look at these guys, it's Valentin Moldavsky, it's Yuri Prohatska, and it's Phil Davis. That's it. I mean, he's beat Nemkov, he's beat Mishenko, this last fight was pretty competitive, and he got kind of gassed at the end. But, honestly, this line, the problem is this line is just a little too big. Like, let me see here. Minus 490, minus 600 now. Kind of getting crazy. I wouldn't mess with anything to do with that type of line. But also, I couldn't advocate taking I just can't advocate taking Karl Moore. He's been out of the ring for 3 years. Albrektsson, he's a pretty big dude. 6'2". Let's see how big Moore is. I'm not sure how big. Yeah, they're both the same size. But yeah, man, Albrektsson, I think, can land takedowns and he's just a better grappler. And we know how he does it. And I just wouldn't lay this huge price. Sorry. So moving on, fight number 7, it's Brian Moore versus Arivaldo Lima de Silva. I like violence here, man. I like the under 2.5. It's plus 105. Again, this Arivaldo Lima de Silva guy, 19-10. I'll tell you something. 40 years old. Look at this. 40 years old. The guy's 40 years old. He's coming in here. He's on a win streak. Got 5 straight wins. Obviously not fought a lot. Like, these are in 2019. This is in 2020. And this is in 2021. So he hasn't fought for almost a year. He's only getting older. This fight against Wagner Lima was pretty competitive. He got hurt late in the fight. But basically what this guy does is try to get the fight to the ground. He's got a nasty guillotine. You could see all these guillotine choke wins. Look at this. He's got a bunch of guillotine choke wins. Even some here that you can't see on ESPN, you could see them. But he's also been choked out. He's also been submitted. He's been knocked out. He's very kind of aggressive, comes forward, leaves his chin sitting there to be clipped. Brian Moore hits hard, dude. Like, when you look at this guy's record, 14-9, it looks very deceiving. That record says, this guy's a journeyman. He sucks, right? Then we go back and look. Jarno Luga, decently competitive fight. He was coming on it towards the end. Mikhailov is a crazy wrestler and basically kept taking him down to the ground, and it was still competitive. Winski win. The losses are not bad. AJ McKee, Daniel Weichel. I don't know about early on in his career, but of late, like, he's lost to good guys, and he's got very good striking, got good scrambling. He can even has jiu-jitsu. He has good wrestling. He's 35 also, but just a much quicker guy. He's at home in Ireland. He's fighting in Ireland. He hits pretty hard on the feet. Let me see his KO prop. First off, I have the under 2.5. It's plus 105. Let's see what it's moved. So the under 2.5 is minus 119 now. If you have FanDuel, it's minus 110. I still like it. I think this Arivaldo guy is either going to try to finish you or he's going to get finished. I most likely think he gets finished. Plus 250 on the KO on Moore is not bad at all. I think he has a lot of steam in his punches. I saw this guy, Arivaldo, get dropped by that Wagner Lima guy a couple of times. I've seen him get dropped on other regional fights that he's fought. So I think Brian Moore, a much better striker, can knock this guy out. He might even be able to submit this guy, to be honest. But let's see what the inside the distance is. It's plus 135. Yeah. I would just go with knockout and the under 2.5. That doesn't go actually. Well, here's the thing. If you're on Bet Online, minus 119 on the under 2.5 compared to minus 130 on the fight doesn't go, take the fight doesn't go. It makes no sense to play the under 2.5 and you're only paying 11 cents more for 2.5 minutes. So take that, run with it. I think this fight ends one way or another, most likely by Brian Moore knocking this dude out. Where the hell did I go? Yeah. Moving on, fight 8, Brett Johns, Jordan Winski. I mean, this line's pretty big. Brett Johns has blown out to, 740. My goodness. Someone just hammered Brett Johns. It went from 490 to 740. It went from, holy Moses, 600 to 800. I think it's one-way traffic as well. I think this line, I don't know if it's justified for 800, but he's just going to take Jordan Winski down and do what he needs to do, man. Like, I already played this fight by submission. It was plus 345. I think it went against me. I don't know if it's gone down, but when I saw 345, I was very happy to lay it. It's 375, dude. Like, I get it that Jordan Winski knows how to grapple, but Johns is a much better submission grappler, in my opinion. And you're getting plus 375 on this guy? I don't know. I mean, think about it. He's a minus 800. How do you – I mean, I see – what's weird to me is when you see a fight so lopsided, minus 800, yet goes to decision is minus 180, kind of smells like shit to me. I don't know what's going on. But I honestly like Johns by submission, man. Plus 375, I think is a good number here, man. He's going to get this fight to the ground. He's probably going to get Winski's back. It's a matter of if he's going to lock up a submission or not. And we know Johns is very, very capable of doing that. He went for the ground and pound last fight. Choked out Gravely. He's cast Leicester on Soto. So he's got a good bit of submissions. I probably would go submission plus 375. I think that's not a bad bet. I've played it myself, but at a worse number. So I played 345, I believe. So if you're on his side, I do like the submission. I would not lay the minus 800, 700, whatever bullshit that is. Moving on, fight 9, Syrian Clarke, Rafael Hudson. I think this Hudson guy looked decent on tape. Nothing special, but I mean, he came in, by the way, he came in 5 pounds heavy or 4.5 pounds heavy. So I think that's part of his plan, so he can stuff the takedowns well. Hey, wait, maybe it was a catchweight fight because both guys came in at 149. So I guess it's a catchweight fight. Syrian Clarke is an absolute savage. He's going to keep going for takedowns. He's relentless. He does not freaking stop with the takedowns. You could see he beat my guy Jordan Barton in round 3 with a rear naked choke. And in that fight, it's just nonstop coming for takedowns, nonstop. This guy has a very, very good amateur career, fought a lot of good fighters in the amateurs, undefeated as a pro. On the other hand, Rafael Hudson, a little bit older, fought a low level of opposition, to be honest. I wouldn't say low level. He's basically beat low level of opposition, but he's succumbed to like better fighters. This Solomonov is not something special, and he pretty much got killed in that fight. Then he has a majority decision loss to Sylvester Miller. This guy's if you guys remember this guy's the one that constantly headbutted. Here it is. He constantly headbutted Jack Cartwright. I don't know if you guys remember in the Cage Warriors, and he lost that way. He's a good grappler. He's a good wrestler, but Freitas choked this guy out. Ciaran Clarke, just really good fighter, man. I like him. I played the under 2.5 here. It was minus 130. Let's see what it is now. Give me 1 second. I like the under 2.5. I think Ciaran Clarke, just relentless pace, gonna finish this guy, man, in my opinion. Under 2.5. Minus 138 on Betway if you have it. It's not bad. Minus 140 on Caesars. I don't mind it. It's fight doesn't go as minus 210. So if you're getting minus 138, I think that's a good line. I think that's how it is. That's what's going to happen. He's going to eventually break this guy. Actually, minus 175 on DraftKings is probably best. Go with that. Go with minus 175. Fight doesn't go to decision. Because I think it's going to come a little bit later, maybe second, third round. Those props are not good on Clarke. They're like really low, so don't mess with them. But yeah, I think he finishes this guy maybe second, maybe third round. Let me go over here to chat. What's up, Narco? Excited for these fights? Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of fights. Thanks for coming in, Rips. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, dude. Some good fights. I have some bets. Ciaran Clarke, fight doesn't go is probably a good bet. I think he finishes this guy. What's his sub prop? Yeah, see, sub prop minus 105. You can get 140 on FanDuel. I wouldn't mess with that. I would just go with the fight doesn't go, just in case the other guy has some finish in him. Because I mean, he looks kind of jacked. He looks strong. But I think his gas tank is gonna get. I mean, you see, he loses in the second round here to this guy, and he looked like he was dead tired in the second round there. So. He hasn't fought in a year as well. So give me the fresher, the younger guy, the better grappler, Ciaran Clarke, and the guy that's hometown guy in Ireland. Fight 10, Mads Burnell versus Pedro Carvalho. I got nothing on this fight, guys. I have absolutely nothing here. Line's so big, minus 600, minus 520. I don't advocate any side. I'd probably play dog or pass, but I'm not messing with Carvalho. He's too kind of fragile for me. I think he can get knocked out. I think he is subbed. Burnell by sub is plus 295, best price on Bet Rivers. And his KO prop is 320, best price on FanDuel. I think he could do it both ways. That's the thing. And I don't know. Maybe he can even win by decision. So, for me, I don't have a side here. Fight doesn't go is minus 135. Yeah. I just have nothing on this fight. I think Burnell wins. I just wouldn't lay this big chalk number. Next fight, Leo McCourt, Diana Silva. I don't have nothing again. I want nothing to do with this shit. I don't mess with low-level women's MMA, and I'm definitely not messing with it in Bellator. So we'll move on. We'll skip that fight. Co-main event, Yoel Romero, Melvin Manhoef. Number that stuck out to me a lot here is the over 1.5. I don't understand the line. Like minus 110. It was, what is it now? It was minus 110 on DraftKings. If anybody can look on DraftKings, I can't see it on Best Fight Odds. They don't have it. But it was minus 110. I hit it for 3 units. It's minus 135 on Bet Online. It's minus 110 on Betway and minus 111 on Bet365. If anybody can like look it up for me, please, real quick on DraftKings and let me know. But this line is off, guys. Look at Yoel Romero, 14-6, right? Let's look at this. He's 45. Okay. How does Yoel Romero fight? He's a slow starter. He's pretty much doesn't do shit. Stares, punches here and there. Round 3, finish against Pelosi. Split decision. Okay, these guys are UFC level fighters. We'll just skip those guys. Beat Rockhold round 3. Okay. Weidman round 3. Split decision against Souza. Round 3 against Machida. Round 3 against Kennedy. Decision. Round 3. Round 3. My point is Clifford Starks, round 1, is literally one of the only guys he's finished early. Like, this guy is always going later in fights because he does fuck all for, 2-3 rounds. Then you got Manhoef, 46. So you got a 45 versus a 46-year-old. Okay. Yeah, he got finished against Corey Anderson, but it was after the 1.5 minute mark. It was like 2:26 on the clock. He finished Bahati, and we know he's not finishing Yoel Romero. We know that. Decision. He got finished in the 4th. All these decisions, we're not looking at what he's doing because he's not knocking out Yoel Romero. I could tell you that right now. So we're looking at his losses. This is 32 seconds left in the round thing. Look at all these. Like, his losses are decisions, guillotines. Like, this fight to me is like over 1.5 is, yeah, it's still minus 110. Like, I think that's a great bet, dude. Honestly, I don't understand. I know Cameron says 46-year-old. I don't know if old man making it over. Brother, one is 46, one is 45. And they do fuck all. They don't do anything. That's my point. It's not like Yoel Romero comes and tries to take your head off right away. He doesn't do anything. If you're just sitting there and kicking with him, he's just gonna kick with you for 2-3 rounds. He doesn't care. He doesn't have like some kind of killer instinct in him to finish fights early. So that's my point. Yoel could easily finish him with one takedown. Does Yoel Romero go for takedowns? Is my question. Can you count on him to go for a takedown? I don't think so. He doesn't go for takedowns, bro. I get your point. Yoel Romero is more explosive. He's probably the fresher guy at this age. He just doesn't really finish fights, bro. Historically, he doesn't do it. And I don't think this fight finishes, honestly, under. It could. Of course it could. Any fight could finish. I'm not saying it can't. But when you look at these two guys' records, I think this should be lined at, the over-under should be lined at 2.5, not 1.5. Yeah, look at this is a great point. He loves fighting at the pace, so over is a great more, I think. Yeah, I mean, it's a no-brainer to me, honestly. I don't care. Maybe it ends under 1.5. But when you're giving me minus 110 on an over 1.5 for a Yoel Romero fight, I'm taking it because the fighters that fight him are also cautious. Look at Adesanya. Look at all these fighters. They're all cautious because they know he has big power. Melvin Manhoef knows the same thing. He knows he can't sit there and trade with Romero because Romero can put your lights out. So what is he going to do? He's a kickboxer. He's probably going to throw kicks. Yoel Romero is probably going to throw kicks. I think he goes over 1.5, honestly. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Cameron's right. But I honestly believe this goes over. I mean, looking at Manhoef, yeah, the guy is, listen, he's 46, but he went over 1.5 against Corey Anderson, who, in my opinion, at this point in his career, has way more finishing ability than Yoel Romero and is way more urgent to finish fights than Yoel Romero. So at least Corey Anderson's going to wrestle. He's going to do that. Romero doesn't really do it. He doesn't do it. So yeah, that's what I like there. I like the over 1.5. Maybe Manhoef dies. I don't think Romero is dying. That's for sure. The only person that's probably going to die is Manhoef, but maybe in the later rounds, in my opinion. I wonder what Yoel Romero is round 2, round 3. Let's see here. Yeah, shitty odds. 400 and 850 in round 3. Yeah, I wouldn't mess with it. Not enough for me. Moving on, fight number 13. It's the main event. Benson Henderson versus Peter Queally. And I don't currently have a bet on this. However, I might make a bet on this if this line keeps coming down. Damn it, they hit it again. Son of a bitch. I wasn't saying anything. I didn't play anything. It was down to minus 175 on DraftKings, and now it's back up to 190. I mean, I like. How does Peter Queally beat Benson Henderson is my question. I honestly want to know. Can you answer that? Someone in chat. How does Peter Queally beat Benson Henderson? I want to know. I want to know because I'm kind of confused why this line is so short and why people were betting Queally. But I really, truly want to know how he beats Benson. In what game? Is he the better striker? No. Is he a better grappler? No. Better wrestler? No. How the fuck does he beat him? How does he beat him? Is he going to be able to finish Benson Henderson, Peter Queally? I don't fucking think so, dude. He's not finishing Benson, bro. Like, look at this guy. He's been finished by one guy, I believe, and that was Michael Chandler. That's it. Queally doesn't really have pop like that in his punches. I don't get it. Like, this guy Primus beat him by like wrestling, grappling, whatever. Jackson, another superb grappler, right? Chandler knocked him out. But the rest of the guys he's beat, Patricky Pitbull split. Again, Chandler, he went to split. Like, I know he's older now, but like, bro, he's still the better fighter. He's 38 years old. How old is Queally? Queally is, 33. He's not very young himself. And like, bro, like this fight here against Patricky, where he won by cuts, it was a cut. It was a cut stoppage. I know he was looking decent, but it was a cut. He lost to fucking Miles Price by split just 3 years ago. 3 years ago, he lost to Miles Price. This guy's not good. This guy sucks. He's 11-10. He sucks. And you're telling me Benson Henderson's only minus 190 now? How does he beat him? Does anybody know? Let's see. The judges in Ireland? Maybe. Okay, that's a good point. Benson at a point where he's way too over the hill. Queally may just land the hardest shots in the crowd will influence. Okay. Fair point. I mean, you think he's way over the hill, but he just, I mean, yeah, it might have been robbery, but he was just competitive earlier this year against Islam Mamedov, who would absolutely ravage Peter Queally. He would kill Peter Queally. Am I not right there? I don't know. I know like Benson is not, the only thing I would say is that Benson tends to not throw a lot now in his career. He's kind of like, he's kind of slowing down. His cardio's not the same. I agree with these points. But Queally's honestly not better anywhere than Benson Henderson. Like, no area is he better than Benson Henderson. Rip says, call me crazy, but going to split against Price shows that he could make it close. Why do you, like, what makes you think the Price, like, why? I don't understand. Like, I know you're saying because he went to split decision with Miles Price, but like, Miles Price is terrible, dude. Like, I don't know. But I do like Benson in every area. Yeah. I mean, you'd think Bellator made this fight to try and get Queally a win in his hometown against a guy like Benson Henderson? No. They're not doing that to Benson. No fucking way. Like, Benson Henderson's a much bigger, like, known fighter for Bellator. Look how long he's been fighting for Bellator, bro. Look at this. He's a legend for them. Until, he's been there for 6 years. Benson Henderson is their guy. I doubt they're feeding Benson Henderson. They might be feeding Peter Queally to Benson Henderson. That's what might be happening. But I don't think they're feeding Benson Henderson. Peter Queally, to me, is just not very good, dude. Like, okay, he beats Benson Henderson. Big fucking deal. Queally honestly sucks. He's not that good. I mean, besides this cut stoppage win here, like, he really has. Who has he beaten? Who is this guy? It's Ciaran. I don't even know who this guy is. Probably, and this guy's lost 4 out of his last 5. I don't know who that guy is. He lost against this guy that's 10-12. Okay, Peter Queally to me is honestly a nobody. Benson Henderson, on the other hand, is a huge name. Dap says he thinks Queally has a stand-up. Oh, interesting. I wouldn't say that, but if you think so, maybe. I would say Benson has the better stand-up. I think Benson has, especially the kicking game. Don't you think Benson has very good kicks? If I remember correctly, didn't Queally get his leg chopped off by Patricky in that second fight? Like, he was chewing that leg off? I don't remember exactly, but I thought it was either the first or the second fight. He got his leg chewed with kicks from Patricky. I can't remember which fight it was, which one. If he can stay at range and keep it standing, I think he wins the decision. Wow. Dab coming in hot. I think Peter will try and keep the fight on the feet. Yeah. I mean, yeah. He doesn't want to. He's not going to be able to, like, even if he wanted to get on the ground, he's not going to be able to get Benson down. And if anything, Benson's going to be able to get him down if he wants it. So, yeah, interesting fight. I mean, I don't have a side. Again, I don't have anything yet. I was hoping Benson line would keep coming down, and then I'd bet him. But at this point, it went up, so I'm probably not going to bet it. But let's move on. Cage Warriors. Let's see what we have here. I got a couple bets here. This was a little shorter. I want to end this. I don't want to go forever. Cage Warriors. First fight. Matt Hampton, Bill Wilson. Let's see what the price is here. Real quick. All right. Bill Wilson, minus 240, minus 275. Comeback, best price, plus 205. Matt Hampton. Honestly, dog or pass for me, man. Hampton, there's not a lot of tape on him. The one tape I found is he iced this Yannick guy with one punch, absolutely killed him in Uriah Faber's A1 combat. This guy, Yannick, he trains with good guys. He's at King's MMA. He's got only 3 amateur fights. Obviously was knocked out against a 3-0 guy in amateurs. Let's see this guy, 7-1 now. So it seems like a pretty decent guy. He also got knocked out there with a head kick. But, man, this Matt Hampton guy iced him with one punch. It looks like he has legit power in his hands. But he's also been knocked out himself in the amateurs. He hasn't fought a lot, which is concerning. He came back after 3 years, fought this Yannick guy, knocked him out. Now he's fighting this Bill Wilson guy. And Bill Wilson, to be honest, shows decent striking, has some grappling. I don't mind the guy whatsoever. I don't like the price, the minus 245. Albert Lee basically died gassing in that fight on Cage Warriors. He was completely death gassed in the second round. That's how he finished him. He was done. But it was kind of competitive. What other fight did I watch? I watched another one of his fights. This Derek King fight, I believe. Yeah, this fight was super competitive, dude, against this Derek King guy. It was a split decision win. But it was a back and forth striking. He's pretty good with takedown defense. I just think Hampton is not bad. He seems like he's good. He's pretty jacked at weigh-ins. I saw him. Plus 205. Not bad, honestly. I think stabbing that side won't be bad for you, to be honest. I don't have a play, but if you want action again, I think the plus money is better here. Moving on, it is fight 2. It's Brian Mitchell versus Roberto Hernandez. Good fight, I think, to be honest. I like what I saw from Roberto Hernandez for the most part. Guy's 4-1. Good jiu-jitsu game. Has good striking. I want to say he's a black belt. I can't remember exactly, but he has a good jiu-jitsu game. His only loss comes to the UFC, former UFC guy, Jesse Strader. Actually had Strader hurt big time in the first round. Had him on skates. He was basically dead. Kind of like not gassed out, but got a little tired. And then in an exchange, Strader caught him with a big punch. And we know Strader hits pretty hard. So caught him with the big punch, iced him there. But outside of that, he's looked pretty good in these fights, man. Could get the fight to the ground. He could keep it standing. Had a nice heel hook against Ethan Ewing. Good win here against Michael Leary. Dropped him and then hammer fists. Guy looks pretty good, to be honest. I don't mind his game. He has a good overall MMA game, but so does Brian Mitchell. 3-1. Factory X guy. This guy's actually a realtor. He just got his realtor license, and he's doing realty. But his only loss is to Michael Stack, who's not a bad fighter. Has good grappling, has a good rear naked choke, and that's how he got him. But then, he fight this Gunnar Coronado, absolutely destroyed this guy, man. He threw some big bombs, knocked him out. Has a decent amateur career. You could see he's 9-2 as an amateur. Lost only to decent amateur fighters with good records. I think it's a close fight. That's the thing I'm getting at here. I don't think it's a blowout one way or another. It's minus 170, plus 145. I do slightly favor Hernandez to win because of the grappling. But the striking is super close, super competitive. I think over 1.5 is good, guys. Over 1.5 is good here. Both guys seem to be very durable. I know they've been finished, but both guys, trust me, they seem to be very durable. It's minus 150. It's 145ers. I'm sorry. I got minus 135, but it's gone up to minus 150. I still like it at minus 150, honestly. I think this fight goes over. Both guys are durable again, and both guys are pretty cognizant of what they're doing on the ground and in the stand-up. So give me the over 1.5. It's also, you got to mention, it's featherweight. So yeah, over for me on that fight. Fight 3, Damon Wilson, James Settle. I mean, it's one-way action on this fight. It's minus 500. James Settle comeback plus 375. I don't have anything. I think Damon Wilson's pretty legit. He's got good striking, good power, good grappling, good wrestling. James Settle is just like a long kickboxer who's kind of tricky on the ground. He has some submission upside, but doubt he's going to sub Damon Wilson. And on the feet, just the only thing is he just doesn't seem to have power on his punches. He seems to be tough against Junior Cortez here. He got hurt pretty bad. He got dropped. He got taken down. He was all bloody, but he lasted till the final bell. So give him props for that. But I think Damon might be able to finish this guy, honestly. So I'm staying away. I don't want to mess with those prices. Moving on. John De Jesus, Brandon LaRocco. This should be a 15-minute stand-up fight, if you ask me. De Jesus, very good technical striker. Fought the way better opposition. You see, he lost to Pico. Beat Schiro, then lost to Kamaka. LaRocco, on the other hand, has power in his hands. Pretty good striker. Last fight against Elijah Leggett, who's a pretty good fighter himself. Pretty competitive. Leggett won. The striking was competitive. Leggett won with takedowns there in that fight. Yeah, I mean, the guy, he has a bunch of rear naked chokes, but his game is really striking, to be honest. Like, he's not like some like killer grappler. He's a striking-based fighter. He's going to fight John De Jesus. It's not going to be easy for him to go for like takedowns against De Jesus because De Jesus has pretty good get-up game and takedown defense. So with that being said, De Jesus is minus 205. Whoever got in at minus 150 is lucky. I would have played De Jesus at minus 150. I'm not going to play him at minus 205 in a fight that I think is a 15-minute like striking match because LaRocco does have pretty good hands. But one thing I did play is when you look at De Jesus, guy is super durable. The only guy that stopped him, I believe, is Pico. And then, I mean, Algio, sorry. And Sabatini. But early on in the career, got stopped. But this guy is very durable, has a very, very good chin. Good scrambler, good grappler. LaRocco ain't knocking this guy out, I don't think. And, LaRocco himself has never been finished. So for me, over 2.5, I don't think De Jesus is much of a big hitter. The over 2.5, it's moved. I got minus 150. It's minus 200. No, you can't play minus 200 anymore. Someone beat the shit out of this because it opened somehow plus 120. I wish I had that number, but got minus 150. It's minus 200. I wouldn't mess with it right now. Cameron says, how does the parlay get busted? Karl, Johns, Yoel. Oh, and in Bellator, I can go over in a little bit. Also, parlay all inside the distance. Yeah, that's possible too. Let me just finish with Cage Warriors. Cage Warriors' next fight is Jordan Bailey, J.J. Ambrose. I like J.J. Ambrose. I think he's going to sub this guy. Jordan Bailey seems like he's pretty strong, has some decent wrestling. I want to say has some decent hands, but Rashkov like absolutely ravaged him in the wrestling. This guy, Kyle Reyes, choked him out. He's not fought the best guys, but when he stepped up in competition, it just seems like he can't beat those guys. J.J. Ambrose has fought good competition. He lost his last fight, I believe, or no, 2 fights ago. Despite Carlisle, he was doing decent. And then he got clipped by Carlisle in the second round, got hurt. But historically, this guy is super durable, has fought good fighters, fought in Bellator. This guy's never David Rickles finished him and Brett Weidman, but this guy historically is not easy to get finished, has a ton of experience, 45 fights. Is 35 years old, so he's getting up there, but I just think he's the much better fighter overall. Everywhere, probably. Better striker, better grappler. The line is minus 245. I wouldn't lay that type of price. But do I have anything on this fight? I don't have anything. I have nothing on this fight. Let's see. Oh, they don't give us any like submissions or anything. What's the under on this fight? Under 2.5, minus 115. I don't know. It might not be bad. He might be able to get Jordan Bailey out of there, but I don't have a bet. I'm gonna pass on this one, and we'll move on. Fight number 6: Jeffrey Craig, C. Hasten Blair, the wrestler out of North Carolina. Looks to have power punches, dude. This guy has heavy hands. He hurt Kona Oliveira really bad, knocked him out. Oliveira's a kickboxer, good striker. Knocked out Ricky Moore at Cage Warriors 136. You see this guy has fought, twice in 2 months, in a 2-month span. Then he comes back 3 months later, is trying his third fight in approximately 5 months. I like that he's active. He's a wrestler. He goes for takedowns right away. But Jeffrey Craig is a dog, man. Like, you watch this guy's fight, this motherfucker is a dog. Like, he wants to get into battles. He wants to get into wars. Against Orlando Sanders here, just flying knee in the first, nasty knee. But this fight against Avalos, good fight, man. Back and forth. I mean, he's a dog, man. And Avalos is not a bad fighter. Like, you look this guy undefeated as an amateur, finished and undefeated, and he's finished almost all his guys. Then he came back, finished his first pro fight, but then this fight was a dog fight, man. And Jeffrey Craig outlasted him, kept coming, hurt him multiple times in that fight on LFA. And then you could see as an amateur, never lost. 6 straight wins. This guy's on an 8-fight winning streak. Can he get taken down? Yeah, but he's got very good wrestling himself. He's strong. Very good cardio. And that's the key aspect here. Cardio. I see Hasten Blair. Prior to the knockout against Kona Oliveira, he was starting to slow down, guys. And I saw him huffing and puffing a little bit. And I think that's going to be his demise in this fight, to be honest. If he doesn't finish this early, I think he's going to get finished later. And plus 170 right now, I like. I played plus 180 for half a unit on Jeffrey Craig. I also think, like, let's see if there's any props for, let me see here. Oh, no, there isn't. So there's an under 2.5 and an under 1.5 on this fight. I honestly think this fight is probably going to end under 2.5, one way or another, whether Hasten finishes it early or Craig finishes him a little bit later. So I'm going to probably be playing this under 2.5, minus 115 here on this fight, because I think this fight will end one way or another. Moving on. We are on fight number 7. It's Elijah Harris, Trey Williams. Big bet for me here on Trey Williams. Guys, Elijah Harris is 42 years old, has fought absolute like bums. When I tell you, these guys are all bums that he's fought. Fought Chuck Campbell, got lit up for 3 rounds, didn't do shit. This guy's 41 years old. They don't have his age here, but he's 41 years old. I'm telling you that right now. He has a hard time making weight. I think he had a tough time making weight today. I don't know even if he made weight. I'm not sure if he made weight, but he has a hard time making 205. He's not a big guy. He's just old. He's 41 years old. Meanwhile, Trey Williams, police officer. But, bro, this guy is actually built like a tank. He's 185, but he's fighting at 205, and he fought 205 last fight. He lost this fight to Campbell, but very, very close fight. Lost to Aaron Phillips here. These fighters are way better than the fighter he's fighting right now, dude. And he's fought Fluffy Hernandez, got knocked out. I mean, he was getting the best of Fluffy early and then got caught. Has a very good jiu-jitsu game. I think he's a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. Has good wrestling. Has decent striking. Dude, I can't say anything for Elijah Harris. He's older. He's slow. He was getting hurt a lot against Chuck Campbell in his fight against Chuck Campbell. He's getting hurt a bunch. He beat this Morello guy with an arm triangle, but this guy just has no idea what to do on the ground. He's not doing that against Trey Williams. I can't believe this line. Wow, it's minus 200 now. But I can't believe Trey Williams was plus 245. And my buddy told me, and actually went up to, plus 240, 255. I can't believe it. I would have absolutely played the max on Trey Williams at plus 255. Everything. If they would have allowed me to play everything in my account, I would play everything on my account on Trey Williams at plus 255. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I honestly couldn't believe when I saw minus 150. I'm like, what the heck is going on? This guy should be minus 400. Why is he minus 150? Much younger guy, better shape, fought the better level opposition, has better wins, is the better fighter. Like, I don't understand how this guy was plus 255. But again, you can get minus 140 if you have BetMGM. Go get it. Jump on it. Play it, please. Please play it, because trust me, that's the play. Well, I'm not telling you, like, put your whole bankroll on it. That is a very, very good play on Trey Williams. He's the much better fighter. The other guy's an old man who's just over the hill. That's probably just getting a paycheck at this point, honestly. He looked horrific. Even in his win, he was getting lit up in that win, and he got some weird takedown, then got the triangle or the what did he get on that guy? Let me see here. Was it a triangle? Yeah, had an arm. Yeah, against Murillo. He was getting lit up prior to that. Look at these wins. 0-2, 0-0, 1-0. I mean, he's beat nobodies. And look at this. He decided to turn pro when he was 40 years old. You got to be kidding me. I mean, look at this guy. He stopped fighting for 4 years, then decided to turn pro when he is the ripe age of 40. Yeah, no thank you. I really like most confident. Yes, Trey Williams, most confident. I'm very confident in Trey Williams. Maybe I lose. Maybe I pay for it. I really like that side. Moving on. It is the main event. Eric Sanchez, James Lynch. And I have a bet here. I have the over 2.5 at minus 140. Both guys super durable. Both guys tough. Eric Sanchez, tough as nails, man. He went to decision against Borix, had some good moments. Fought from, Orosa knocked him out. But outside of that, man, this guy is super fucking durable. Takes a punch, has good grappling, knows what he's doing. Not a big finisher himself, as you can see. Like, yeah, he's got some finishes early in his career against lower level opposition. But as he stepped up the opposition, he's, Jordan Beltran, I just don't think James Lynch is very durable himself. I don't think he's going to finish James Lynch. If anything, Lynch has a little bit more finishing ability on the ground. His loss to Richie Miranda just got out grappled. Richie Miranda got his back, sunk in a rear naked choke, and finished him. Outside of that, this guy doesn't have any losses. He hasn't trained much. You see, he took a 5-year hiatus, but now he's come back and he's fighting a lot more often. He's got 4 fights in a span of 1 year, which is good. It's going to be fight number 5 in almost a year. So for me, the over 2.5 here, it is sitting at minus 140. Let's see what it is right now, so I don't talk out of my ass. Yeah, still minus 140. I do like that. I think this fight goes to decision. I'm kind of leaning on James Lynch because of the grappling, but so it's a close fight, man. If I got like plus 170 on Sanchez, I take a shot. But best I see is plus 140. I'm not going to take a shot. I'm going to take the over 2.5 on that fight there. So yeah, that's it, boys. 32 of you in here. Thank you very much. Any questions? Shoot them real quick. I'll answer them. We've been going for an hour. I don't want to go much more. 3 most confident Cage Warrior sides. Let me give you the 3 most confident Cage Warrior sides. Let's see here. I would go with Trey Williams because it's a little bit of a lower price for you. Escoto fight is off, by the way. Is not fighting anymore. Damon Wilson is most likely. I mean, I like Damon Wilson. He's going to win. And the other one, Trey Williams, Damon Wilson. Ambrose, JJ Ambrose. So I like those three. I don't know what it is, but I like those three, for my most confident picks on Cage Warriors. Williams, Hampton, and Craig, 1,000 plus odds parlay. Wait, who? Williams? Okay. Hampton. Who's Hampton? Oh, Matt Hampton. Okay. I'm down with that. And who's the other one? Craig? Yeah, I'm down with that one. I like that one, actually. Not bad. Williams, Craig. Yeah. Williams, Craig, and under, or you could even throw in like instead of Hampton, maybe throw in like a Brian Mitchell dog. Is not bad. Yeah, bro. Thanks for being here. Anybody else? Any other questions? Anybody want me to tell them my most confident? Man, Bellators, there's so much juice. Like, what am I going to give you most confident plays on Bellator? They're going to be like, I'm going to tell you like Brett Johns, Dara Kelly, Brian Moore, I'm pretty confident in. So many of them. Ciaran, Clarke, Mads Burnell probably. Yoel Romero, like too big of a price. I wouldn't fucking lay it. And Kenny Mokhona, or whatever the hell his name is. Bellator main card props? What do you mean by that, Mushroom? What do you mean main card props? I mean, I told you which ones I bet. The props. I had Johns by submission. I got Barton by submission. And then I got the unders on the Brian Moore Silva. At the under 1.5 in the Kelly Stevens. I got the under 2.5 in the Clarke Hudson. And I got the over 1.5 in Manhoef Romero. Yeah, they're damn near boxing, for real. If you're not super confident, it's tough to beat. Yeah, don't play those guys. Do me a favor. Like, one thing I will say, don't play like Yoel Romero minus 700 in a parlay. Just don't do it. It doesn't really give you much upside, and there's a lot more downside than is upside to that. I just wouldn't. If you like Romero, probably play him inside the distance or something. What's he knockout? Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Play him knockout, minus 175. Is Romero really going to go for a sub? He doesn't do it. Let's go for a knockout, minus 175. Does Romero actually have any subs in his career? Maybe he does. I don't even remember. Let's look. All I see is Olympic wins. Yeah. No, he's got 0 subs. And he's gonna try to knock you out. So if you're gonna play Romero, go play him by knockout if you think he's gonna win. Clarke, by what method? Is Ciaran Clarke sub? I like him by sub. I like Ciaran Clarke by sub. He has a very good submission game. Has decent ground and pound, but his submission game is very good. This guy got subbed 2 different times. You can see right here. Solomonov, who's a wrestler, subbed him. Freitas has good grappling. But yeah, he's been subbed twice. He can get subbed 3 times here by Clarke. Anybody else? Any more questions before I shut it down? Going once. Going twice. Oh, before I go once, go twice. Please hit the like. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to try to do more content like this on Bellator, Cage Warriors, stuff like that. I'll even give you guys a bet I have. Wait, do I have? Oh, I haven't put it up yet, but I'll give it to you guys since you guys came in here. You guys deserve it. It's a Fury FC play. All right. It is Evan Cutts. Money line, minus 118. I really like Evan Cutts here. Better grappler, very aggressive. He should be able to, if he's not going to stop Jones, he should be able to win a decision pretty handily. And yeah, I'm gonna go over more of my Fury FC. I have to do more tape on it. But yeah, that's it, guys. 959 subs. I'm close to 1K, like Rips and Picks said. I can't get to 1K for some reason. Nobody likes me, but I'm going to keep giving you guys content because I just love it. I love doing it. I love giving you guys content, and I'm going to try to do more of it. So thank you, boys. Thank you, everybody in chat. I appreciate you guys. Hopefully we win some money tomorrow. And yeah, guys, let's cash some tickets. Have a great night.